Fighting for Fair Schools. Section 1. Introduction. Every student deserves equal educational opportunities, but Los Angeles County is failing to give fairness to all its students. My digital short, Fighting for Fair Schools, shows how UTLA, United Teachers Los Angeles, helps improve LAUSD, Los Angeles Unified School District, facilities for all students, mainly Black and Latin children. UTLA fights for those schools that lack staff, financial resources, and safe spaces. I want people to understand the significance and value of their efforts because international students also need safe and respectful environments that provide full support regardless of their background. Section 2, Claim 1. Claim. Felix and Castro show how UTLA believes teachers' conditions have a bad consequence in students' learning in LAUSD. Primary stakeholder, United Teachers Los Angeles. Resource author's name, Felix Eric and Marlon Fernandez. Teachers in Los Angeles need fair conditions. It is important to mention that when teachers have fair pay and good working conditions, they can teach better. And UTLA fights to make that happen. This is shown in how schools that support their teachers have better results for Black and Latin students. Felix and Castro, 2018. For example, when a teacher feels respected, students get more attention and care. This connects to my outline because many of the schools with the least support are in Black and Latin neighborhoods. So improving their conditions also helps make these schools stronger and better. Section 3, Claim 2. Claim. Dilera K. explains UTLA's stance that unequal funding harms Black and Latin communities. Certain schools in LAUSD receive less money and resources than others, which makes unfair learning conditions. Primary stakeholder, United Teachers Los Angeles. Resource author name, Dilera K. Some schools in Los Angeles do not get enough support and money. For example, in a lot of communities with less resources, the classrooms are crowded, the buildings are old, and teachers do not have materials they need. Dilera K, 2024. UTLA knows about this and is looking out for better funding so students can learn like everyone else. The photos and videos for this part show how these schools currently look like and how UTLA tries to help. This connects to my outline because the schools that need the most help are usually in Black and Latin neighborhoods. Section 4, Claim 3. Claim. Zeus Leonardo shows how UTLA understands that racism in schools shows up in small, daily actions. Therefore, it directly impacts Black and Latin communities because they are the ones receiving the least attention. Primary stakeholder, United Teachers Los Angeles. Resource author name, Zeus Leonardo. Racism in schools can show up in small, everyday simple ways. For example, Zeus Leonardo, 2015, explained that racism is not always obvious because it can appear in little things like who gets more attention or who gets ignored. This relates to UTLA's job because they fight for fair treatment in all classrooms, not just the ones that already have support. The video for this claim shows students from different backgrounds learning together, and that connects to the ultimate goal of making sure every student feels respected. This ties to my outline because those small unequal actions still shape education in Los Angeles. Section 5, Claim 4. Claim. Thomas D. Faulas argues that UTLA's fight is about fixing the unfair treatment Black and Latin students face in Los Angeles. Primary stakeholder, United Teachers Los Angeles. Resource author name, Thomas D. Fallas. Teachers in Los Angeles push for better conditions because of how much their students need it. Fallas, 2016, said that schools in the United States have been treating unfairly Black and Latin students for a very long time. These problems need real action in order to disappear, and that is when UTLA steps in. Even though the conditions at schools are rough, teachers go out and protest because they want a better system for future generations. This is connected to my outline because UTLA is giving real support to the ones who need it the most, Black and Latin neighborhoods. Section 6, Claim 5. Claim: UTLA fights for teachers' respect and students' rights. They believe that helping teachers means creating better learning conditions for every child in Los Angeles. UTLA says students and teachers are connected. If teachers in Los Angeles do not get the support they need, the students get affected too. You can notice when teachers are exhausted or overwhelmed, and kids end up getting less attention. This scenario gets worse in low-income schools with Black and Latin students, because families are already dealing with more stress outside of school. It really matters that the students get enough quality time with their professors. However, it is important that we approach the issue at the main source, professors. In order to boost the students' success, we must support the teachers' needs. Section 7, Claim 6. Claim: Community Coalition, COCO. It stands up to make sure schools in South Los Angeles truly work for Black and Latin students. Second stakeholder, Community Coalition, COCO. Community Coalition, COCO, argues that Black and Latin students' opinion must be taken seriously if we want a real change. An example is when they talk about LAUSD problems, because these issues did not just appear. They come from years of ignoring these neighborhoods. What COCO does is to bring students together so they can speak up in front of schools with better resources and teachers who can support them and understand what they're going through. This goes back to my outline, because the biggest problems are in places like South Los Angeles, where most students are Black and Latin. Section 8, Claim 7. Claim: The Education Trust West wants a school in Los Angeles to give Black and Latin students the support they need to succeed. Secondary stakeholder, the Education Trust West. The Education Trust West helps make sure every school treats their students fairly. Their research shows that a lot of schools with Black and Latin students do not get the same funding as others, like enough money, good materials, or teachers who have what they need. Because of that, they keep asking LAUSD to invest more money into schools that are falling behind. This connects to my outline because even though Los Angeles is a huge and diverse city, the schools systems are still very separated, and Black and Latins deserve to get the same chances as everyone else. Section 9, Claim 8. Claim: Black Lives Matter cares about this problem because racial inequality in Los Angeles schools affects the same communities they defend. When their students do not get enough money, it becomes a fight for racial justice. Secondary stakeholder, Black Lives Matter Los Angeles. Black Lives Matter Los Angeles focuses on giving Black students the same opportunities as everyone else. For instance, when schools in Black neighborhoods do not get enough money, it directly affects the students' futures and makes everything harder for them. Black Lives Matters speaks up in Los Angeles, so everyone knows that these unfair conditions are part of a big racial issue. What they care about shows how race and education are tied together and why this should matter more in the whole county. Section 10. Conclusion. Call to action. Claim. Education has power. When teachers, students, and communities work together, real change can happen in Los Angeles. Better schools will start to happen when students get the basic things they need to learn. When students work together and feel supported, teachers try their best even when they do not have enough funding. And families also stay involved because they want their kids to succeed. The photos of students laughing and learning also show how different schools feel when there is real support behind them. Teachers inspire students every day, and students inspire their communities too. Therefore, giving students those basic needs is what will really move the education system forward.